Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, if you're new with from the SPX community, make sure to subscribe because listen, we might be covering this coin very, very often, right? Talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week if that is what you guys want. If there's going to be support, likes, and comments on these videos, then of course that is an indicator that you guys do want more. Right? If you're new, then pretty much my name is Matt and I do technical analysis on multiple coins every single day so people have a peace of mind of what is happening in the markets. Listen, right? SPX 69, wait, not 69,000. That would have been also epic, but 6,900, right? Pretty much mocking the S&P 500. But look, right, there's actually a very, very powerful, narrative to this. Right, this pretty much kind of solidifies the the S&P 500 meme coin. Okay, this is our S&P 500. So this is a coin that can have very, very big and nice longevity over the next couple of cycles for crypto. Okay, I'm not saying this is one of those things you want to be holding every single year, kind of like the S&P 500, because I still believe in cycles. And at the end of the day, this is still a meme coin, so you still got to cash out. But this could trade kind of more fundamentally, and it could be a lot more consistent and have a lot more longevity, compared to other meme coins. Okay, so that is what makes this really, really cool, right? Even just in terms of technical analysis, we can actually see that it has been trading very, very fundamentally. Right, we can see that we were kind of in a downwards trend from, let's just say, near the end of January, and kind of mid-March, we already broke out of it, right? We kind of started to go sideways, right? We can see we kind of started to go sideways, boom, like this. And then eventually, ladies and gentlemen, we kind of broke out, but we were doing everything fundamentally, even when we're going sideways and when we have been going up. We can see, right? We just kind of ping ponged in the zone, and we had a low over here, a higher low. We had, double top, another higher low. We broke up to the upside, creating a higher high. We came back for a very nice fundamental retest off of these bottoms. And then we just continued to push, right? We created a higher high, higher low. Again, we pushed, right? Pretty much eventually creating a double top, a higher low, higher low. And then again, a very nice rally, right? A very nice rally. Then we broke structure a little bit. We started to go downwards. We pulled back on a bigger time frame, right? When we do this, we can see the weekly, right? We had a bigger time frame pullback, pretty much looking to retest off of this key zone over here of roughly 865 million market cap to 900 million, right? Because we can see multiple taps over here, multiple structure, multiple points of structure over here, and then now, of course, here. And then we can see, right, in like 3 weeks ago, we had pretty much, if we go remove this drawing, we had this low over here, and then we had a higher low. We had a higher low in the weekly closing, and we can see the next 2 weeks have been looking very, very nice. So it's been healthy, right? It's been actually a very, very healthy fundamental structure, fundamental coin. And that is what is very impressive, right? The narrative is super strong. Okay. The narrative is super, super strong because, like I said, it can have very nice longevity. And this could be one of those meme coins that could be around for multiple cycles. And in fact, potentially for the rest of crypto's history. Okay. And in terms of technical analysis, things do look good. Now, here's the deal, people. The glazing is not done. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we go and look right at the SPX 6900. We can see, right? Wait, where's all this volume coming from? Where is everything coming from? Well, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's from Uniswap. It's from a couple exchanges. But what do you notice? What do you notice? Well, look, this is what I notice. We don't have some of the biggest exchange listings here. We don't, right? We really, really, really don't. I mean, this is like, this is to trade the European version, but where is Kraken? Where's Coinbase? Where is freaking Binance? Where's crypto.com? Right? Where is a couple more exchanges? Where are they? Right? Where are they? Where's the momentum? You know, where, not momentum, but where are the big exchanges that where you could be buying? Right? Not just simply just trading, but you could actually be buying it. Where? Right? And look, man, I'm telling you, right, there's still a lot of exchanges to go. The only thing that's a little bit concerning, which is, it's not that concerning, but, just a potential neutral flag is, the volume is fairly low compared to the market cap. But, this is being recorded on a weekend. So, of course, in general, we are going to have lower and lower volume. When we go and look at something like this, we can see that we are pretty much at, all-time high in holders, right? We did possibly peak at one point a little bit higher, and no, we didn't. We are literally right now at the most amount of holders we've ever had. So it's looking good, right? It's looking very, very promising. Now, I will say we are literally at all-time highs, and we go and look at something like the monthly, nothing really suggests that this is going to be slowing down, right? Nothing really, really does. In fact, it kind of like we are in a similar boat over here where, there was big expansions over the next couple of months, which is kind of what I expect with this coin. Now, this is a coin that we have to respect. This is a coin we're going to have to put some respect on its name. And we go to the meme coins, right? Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are 7th place. But this is a coin that can very well potentially, dare I say, maybe not this cycle, but maybe next, it could take over and be 2nd place, right? It could very well also take over sheep. I do think, and in fact, I'm going to make this hot take right now. I do think the SPX will overtake Pepe this cycle. I think SPX is going to do very, very well. I think it sounds kind of crazy, but I think we're going to be looking at 20x gains this cycle, potentially even up to 30x. Now, that would be, at the top of my head, right, be roughly 32 billion market cap, 33 billion for the 20x. And for, the 30x, that would be even higher, upwards of 50 billion. But I really do think that this is going to be a top meta coin. I do believe we are going to overtake Pengu. Trump is going to be heavy competition because we talked about Trump. The market structure is super manipulated. It literally trades like the S&P 500 when you look at the 1 minute, right? The way the candles move. And then Bonk is solid, but it's going to be overtaken. Pepe is great, but I still think the S&P 500 will be overtaken. And the question is, will Shiba do better? For me, it's like a 55-45, right? Just because they already have a big lead on the S&P 500. But I really do think, on the S&P 6900. But I really do think this is going to be one of those coins that are just going to really overtake the market and be here for a long time, right? We can kind of even see that when we go to the market cap, ladies and gentlemen, and we look kind of at all time, right? This kind of overtook in 2024 of September. So not too long ago, roughly, like 9 months ago, it overtook it. We look at something like Farcoin. Farcoin became relevant, kind of around the same time, a little bit actually later, but we can see it's nowhere near kind of this same type of structure where S&P or the SPX 6900 is, right? I might mess this up for a little bit because I still look at the S&P 500 almost daily. So, but we can see, right? This is still kind of like, 70% up, right? It's not at all-time highs, but the SPX 6900 is looking to have continuation pumps, which really makes me believe in this project. And like I said, the exchanges look good. The market structure looks good. The narrative is timeless. All right, the narrative is timeless. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. I am super optimistic about this coin. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.